What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about some huge news for the One Piece live-action universe, because two of the most critical details about Season 3 have now officially been confirmed. Yes, One Piece Season 3 is no longer just a confirmed season. We now have its official title, and even more importantly, it's been confirmed that the season will arrive in 2027. So even though we don't have an exact month or day yet, one thing is now very clear. In 2027, we'll be watching the Straw Hat crew again in live action. Before we get into the details, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future One Piece content. What makes this even more exciting is that the official title of Season 3 has been revealed. The new season has been announced as One Piece, the Battle of Alabasta. And honestly, this title alone already tells us a lot about the tone, scale, and central conflict of the season. Because Alabasta is not just another island or a simple adventure. It's one of the most emotional, political, and defining turning points in the entire story. I think this title choice is very important because the creators didn't just go with Season 3. By directly highlighting the Alabasta battle, they're clearly signaling that this season will center around a large-scale crisis, a civil war atmosphere, and much higher emotional stakes. So this won't just be about the Straw Hats traveling to a new place. We're going to witness a much bigger story where they directly impact the fate of an entire country. At the heart of the story is Vivi's homeland, Alabasta. After deciding to help Vivi at the end of Season 2, Luffy and the crew will set sail toward the Desert Kingdom in Season 3. But what they'll find there won't be a peaceful land. Instead, we'll see a country on the brink of collapse, shaken by the threat of civil war and secretly manipulated by very dangerous forces behind the scenes. According to the revealed details, this uprising is not just a random rebellion. Behind this chaos stands Sir Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords of the sea. And he's not acting alone, he's orchestrating everything through Baroque works, a hidden and highly organized operation. This means Season 3 won't just be about open conflict, but also manipulation, betrayal, and schemes built in the shadows. One of the strongest aspects of this news is that the Alabasta arc is widely considered by fans to be the point where they truly fell in love with One Piece. Because this story doesn't just deliver action, it brings themes like friendship, loyalty, sacrifice, leadership, and the fight to save an entire nation. The fact that the live-action team is openly acknowledging how special this arc is for fans shows how seriously they are taking this adaptation. You can also feel this in the statements from the 5 creative team. They've said that reaching Alabasta has been a dream ever since the live-action journey began. That says a lot. It shows that Alabasta wasn't chosen randomly, but has been one of the main long-term goals of the series from the very beginning. Another confirmed detail is about production. Filming for Season 3 is currently taking place in Cape Town, South Africa, so this is not just a concept on paper anymore. The project is actively in production. That also proves that the 2027 release window is not just an empty promise, but something that's already in motion. The main live-action cast is also returning. Iñaki Godoy is back as Luffy, Makinyu as Zoro, Emily Rudd as Nami, Jacob Romero as Usopp, and Taz Skylar as Sanji. Honestly, this was expected, but what makes it exciting is that in a story as emotionally heavy as Alabasta, we're now going to see much more mature, tested, and deeper versions of these characters. Of course, it's not just the Straw Hats. Key characters for the Alabasta storyline are also returning. Charithra Chandran will be back as Princess Vivi. Michaela Hoover continues as Chopper. Joe Manganiello takes on a bigger role as Crocodile. Lara Abova returns as Miss All Sunday, and Sendhil Ramamurthy continues as King Nefertari Cobra. There's also a very important detail here. Hoover, Manganiello, Abova, and Ramamurthy have all been promoted to series regulars for Season 3. That means these characters won't just have limited screen time anymore. They'll be central to the story. This is a very strong sign that the Alabasta arc will be explored properly, without rushing, and with full focus on character depth. New casting choices are also adding even more hype. Zolo Maridueña has been confirmed as Portgas Ace, which is a huge deal for the fandom. Ace is not just a popular character. He carries massive emotional weight and changes the energy of every scene he's in. How his presence will be handled in live action is already one of the most anticipated parts of Season 3. On top of that, Cole Escola as Bon Clay could easily become one of the most interesting highlights of the season. Bon Clay is not a simple side character. He's funny, strange, and incredibly memorable. If done right, this role could turn into one of the most talked about performances of the season. Especially within a serious arc like Alabasta, his colorful energy will create a very unique balance. We also have Daisy Head as Miss Doublefinger and Otto as Mr. One. which shows that the Baroque work side is expanding significantly. This is very important, because one of the reasons the Alabasta arc works so well is that the villains are not just a single main antagonist. Baroque works, with its layered structure and multiple members, constantly raises the sense of threat and makes the story much more dynamic. From the official summary, it's clear that Season 3 will present the highest stakes the Straw Hats have faced so far. Their friendships will be tested, they'll face impossible choices, and they'll try to stop the collapse of an entire nation. This will likely be the biggest and most ambitious season of the live-action series yet. One detail that really stands out to me is the word battle in the title. That alone suggests this season won't just be about exploration, but will fully embrace a war-driven narrative. This means bigger action sequences, heavier drama, and a much more intense overall tone. How Alabasta will look in live action, and how this war will be visually presented, is already one of the biggest question marks and one of the biggest expectations. Another key point is the confirmed 2027 release window. Even though we don't have a specific date yet, the uncertainty is now mostly gone. We at least know the year, which means the season is no longer some distant unknown. It's officially on the horizon. The wait will still be long, but now it feels real. This announcement also clearly shows Netflix's confidence in the One Piece live-action project. Giving the season an official title, expanding the cast, starting production, and openly setting up the next major arc all point to one thing. This is not a short-term adaptation, but a long-term franchise. And with Alabasta being such a massive arc, it also opens the door for even bigger islands and larger conflicts in the future. Personally, I don't see this as just another season announcement. I see it as a turning point where the live-action series proves itself. Because reaching Alabasta means the story is truly starting to grow. The world gets bigger, the enemies get stronger, the emotions get heavier, and the consequences become much more serious. If the team captures the spirit of this arc correctly, Season 3 could easily become the best season of the series so far. I think one of the most critical aspects will be how the Vivi-centered story is handled. Because the emotional core of Alabasta is not just the war, it's Vivi's struggle to save her people. The way the Straw Hats support her is one of the strongest examples of why One Piece is more than just a pirate story. The success of Season 3 will largely depend on how well that emotional backbone is delivered. So now we have the official title, the Alabasta War is confirmed, and the 2027 release window is set. What do you think? Do you believe this could be the best season of the live-action series so far? How big of an impact do you expect the Alabasta arc to have in this adaptation? And which character are you most excited to see? Crocodile, Vivi, Ace, Bon Clay, or someone else? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more One Piece updates, reviews, and future season content. See you in the next video.